Next question. Why don't we take one right there, blue shirt. Tell me your name again, sir.
My name is Brian.
Brian, it's good to see you.
Yeah, one of the major issues I see is the division in this country. You know, it's almost like you can't even be friends with someone that thinks differently than you. And this country is so divided, and I think, is there a leader somewhere in this country that can actually unite us? Are you that guy? I don't think Trump has the ability to unite us. I think we need to unite this country. How do you do that? And do you see that as an important issue, or is it too far gone? Like, I almost feel it is.
It is not too far gone. I understand why you would think so. It is not too far gone. First of all, I want to say something as a preface to this. This is not a one-man job. Do not expect someone coming from on high from the White House to save us. I'm not letting you off the hook that easily. You do have an obligation to continue your friendships with people who disagree with you. Right? If we're going to be saved, it's going to be because we save ourselves. Right? We each have to practice what we preach, be the change that we want to see in our country. Right? This is up to us. It starts with our culture. I don't believe, and you will never hear this from me, some sort of false kumbaya optimism, it's morning in America again. It's not. Not right now. It can be. But we have to see the present with clear eyes to make it true. So here's what I will do. I'm already doing it. If you see me not doing it, hold my feet to the fire and make sure I continue to do it. We will talk to everybody on this campaign. I don't think it's a good thing when my fellow Republicans say they won't talk to NBC News because NBC News is not nice to them. From Don Lemon to Chuck Todd to the Breakfast Club to New England College when we were here in New Hampshire, to college campuses across this country, to the south side of Chicago, to Kensington in the inner city of Pennsylvania, at least my pledge is I will show up. We will have the conversation. We may not agree with everything, but at least we're going to talk in the open. And you know what I've discovered through that? Not in the media part of this so much. That's a distorted monster of its own. But amongst real people in this country, when we went to the south side of Chicago, we left with far more common ground than any of us, myself included, expected to find, with respect to the importance of sealing the southern border, with the respect to the importance of why it could possibly be that we're spending $200 billion to secure somebody else's border against an invasion when we're not protecting against an invasion on our own southern border, where many of those people are now living in South Shore High School, which has been turned into an encampment for migrants, when people in that community rightly ask the question, well, what about me as an American who lives here? And I think the America First movement is not just for conservatives, it is for all Americans, by definition. When I went to Kensington, what do I find? I find people who, by the way, my parents were immigrants from India. We used to visit my grandparents in India. It was a third world nation. The parts of rural India that we visited in the 90s, I have not seen something worse than Kensington, Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, where I visited last month. Never seen something like it. People shooting up on the streets in the middle of the day. And what do they say? They say that actually the aid programs constitute giving away needles and crack pipes, paying people to do the exact opposite of what might be best for even them. And so I think there's unity around these issues. But I think the way we get to national unity is not by, it's going to sound odd when I say this, but I think it is deeply true. The way we get to national unity is not through compromise on our principles. The way we get to national unity is by being uncompromising about the principles that unite all of us as Americans. We have, for the last decade, I grew up into this, last couple decades in this country, celebrated our diversity and our differences so much that we forgot all of the ways we are really just the same as Americans, bound by a common set of ideals that set this nation into motion 250 years ago. And let's be really honest with ourselves. Those are radical ideals. Those are extreme ideals. Free speech, the idea that you get to speak your mind as long as I get to in return. Self-governance, the idea that we the people can be trusted to sort out the most difficult disagreements that we have in a constitutional republic, that we're a nation of laws, not of men, that we believe in the unbridled pursuit of excellence. These are radical ideals because for most of human history it was done the other way. So, no, it's not through moderation that we will achieve national unity. We will achieve national unity by embracing the radicalism of the American Revolution itself. That is what I believe. That is what unites us. That is what we mean when we say, e pluribus unum. From many, one. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars in the Cold War. That is the vision that still gives hope to the free world. And that is what we will need to revive if we have a last standing chance. And you believe it, I will stand here firm until they force me out. We will make sure that we reunite this country as one nation, not some national divorce, but a national revival where our best days are still ahead of us, where we're not in some divided decline, but we are still in our ascent as a nation. I believe it can be so. I think it will take someone from outside of government to deliver it. I think it will take someone who has personally lived and experienced the American dream to deliver it. I think it will take someone quite possibly of a different generation to deliver it to our youth who can be proud of this country again. That is my job. That is my responsibility. That is my promise. Thank you. I appreciate it, my man.